Hello Fantasy Faithfuls and welcome to Fantasy Snapshot when I'm looking at John Ross. Ross is facing the San Francisco 49ers in week 2. The 49ers gave up 91 yards to wide receivers in week 1 for only 15.1 fantasy points with 13 yards per reception and only 1 touchdown.
Work the sidelines here for Dalton. Target line around the 37 for Seattle. Dalton's going to take a chance. Deep down the field, he's got his man. It's Ross for the touchdown.
Breaking down his receiving patterns, we see that Ross is being targeted mostly outside the numbers, with the right side of the field being the dominant one. But as a whole, there's a ton of deep shots being taken to him, 13 and 20 outside the numbers. His catch rate has been his major weakness, not coming down with more than a third of all short right targets and only 15% of deep right throws, while the short left usually is fantastic for him. Hard to say too much if this fits with the 49ers, as they pretty much give up a reception on every other deep throw and 77% of all short passes all across the field. He gains a crazy amount of yards when he catches the ball. This is some of the most polarizing yards per catch numbers I've ever seen. His worst deep zone still has 28.5 yards per catch. That is 5 more than DeAndre Hopkins. And it will be to the deep left and middle. He will hurt the 49ers. They gave up the second most amount of yards per catch to the deep left in the league last year and above league average over the middle. He will have at least 2 big plays in this game. But there's no way around it. He is not a stable scorer with just a floor of 0.1 points, but a ceiling of 14.2. His chance of booming above that 14.2 is not the highest for week 2, but that is in part of it being so high. While his bust risk is still a little too high with a floor that is that low. His touchdown rate since entering the league is 13.7%, which is crazy high. And with how the Bengals are playing at the moment, the way they are using Ross in combination with how the 49ers handle receivers, I have him projected for a bit smaller workload than last week for 11 targets and for 6 receptions.
On first down, has some time, gonna let it fly. He's going deep for Ross. He's got it, makes the catch. Looking for room. Ross sneaks in.
I would like to take a second to remind you to hit that like button, leave a comment what you think about this video, and subscribe to the channel. I love every interaction I have with y'all, and every little bit helps me put out even more content. Looking at AJ Green and Tyler Boyd, the Bengals usually can support 2 wide receivers for 6 to 10 usable games per year. With Green out, Ross becomes the second of them for now, assuming he will be startable for 6 games this year. Looking at this week's situation for the Bengals, they're playing at home versus a top 16 air defense with a winning record. For Ross, this is a decent situation. He hasn't been the best at home, but has traditionally scored more against the good air defenses and just slightly more against teams with winning records, so at least 2 out of 3 in the positive. In the last 10 games he has played, he's seen 12 red zone targets and scored 5 touchdowns. And with that, again, that is insane. 41.7% success rate is a tight end number, and with the Bengals having some injuries, this is a great opportunity for him to catch a red zone touchdown. Based on all these numbers, he has a risk factor of 99.9% this week, meaning the algorithm thinks very highly of him, while his previous performances indicate it will be extremely difficult to reach the projection of 13.2 fantasy points. So in conclusion, he will see fewer targets, but matches well against the 49ers pass defense that struggled against the deep ball. If he doesn't come down with a couple of big plays, he still has a chance to catch a red zone touchdown. What do you think about John Ross? Are you starting him this week? And what do you think about him moving forward? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out the live stream tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube.
That tight end room the last couple of years, Uzama starting to come into his own. Dalton, a little flea flicker action. He's got Ross, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown.
Hello, Fantasy Faithful. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.